Working abroad for the overemployed. So there's a few experiments that I've been playing with recently, and one of them is not working in the same time zone as my employers. I wanted to take a break from my usual British foods and climates and decided to head somewhere warm and easy to get to, but I didn't fancy taking any of my annual leave. So at the same time, I took on a contracting role on top of my other jobs and found that I won't get paid if I took my annual leave, which sounded like not a good idea to me. So I took my laptops, hand luggage only, and headed out with my husband. Apart from the usual airport nonsense and annoyances, other people, lack of sense when boarding, people fucking around with their hand luggage on the plane, we got there fine and didn't get bothered in customs with all of our laptops and attached paraphernalia. I didn't mention to my line managers in my roles I was heading off. We travelled on a late plane on a weekend, which meant no time was lost in work, and they were none the wiser. It's easy enough to put a fake background on in your Teams, Zoom, whatever. I switched from blurred to outright fake background weeks in advance to us going, and I won't be switching back. The other thing I would strongly suggest is sit in a space where your camera faces the most boring wall in your home. Work does not get to invade your private space, and if they insist on camera on, then they get to look at the blandest wall that is void of all personality and insight into you and your life. I wouldn't worry about how changes in light will be perceived. They're not that interested in that. If you do get a busybody, as we often do, then say you're rearranging your furniture in your home just for a change and move on. So while working abroad, I found out a few of these things. I had my mornings to wake up leisurely, as I was a few hours ahead of the UK time zone. I was getting a decent night's sleep and was able to make time for myself to go for a workout without it being stupid o'clock. I worked my usual 9 to 5 UK hours, which meant I had to work a little later in my temporarily local time zone. This largely made no difference since the country I was visiting wakes up after 6 p.m. anyway. I could do tasks early in the morning and get them out of the way. My evenings were mine. The internet at the hotel we stayed at was excellent. Never did it cut out or lead to any buffering. I also had J6's work phone with me for international phone calls and Google Maps. I'm not paying for data when they can for me. But I didn't have any of my larger monitors, and I did miss them. I found it quite tough to work on tiny laptop screens, whereas at home I have the leisure of spreading my work out on multiple screens. I really enjoyed being in a different country, and is quite possibly something we are considering doing moving forward. The difficult decision is choosing where to go. There's just so much to see. Short one for now, but any cues, head them my way. See you at the next post, yeah? Love and laissez faire.